Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Northern Soul Reaper and today I'm going to be taking a look at volume 6 of So I'm a Spider, So What. This is a light novel series that I absolutely adore. I've done a few videos on this series so far. I've reviewed volumes 1 to 5. They're available on the channel if you want to give those a look. But I was kind of debating whether to continue on with reviewing this series because I wasn't sure whether people wanted just, one volume per video and just wanted like stumbling upon a random volume 6 review might not be that interesting. But this is a series that I absolutely adore and I want to do it justice, so I want to review each volume individually. So you should definitely look out for volumes 7, 8 and hopefully when it arrives from Book Depository, volume 9 as well in the future. So with that said, this is going to be a review that has some spoilers for previous volumes and a little bit of this volume as well. So if you've not read anything of this series, do yourself a favour and go read volume 1 of So I'm a Spider, So What. It's absolutely phenomenal. So this is just a little bit of a spoiler warning to let you know that I will be discussing some plot points of this volume and also touching back on the different things that happened in previous volumes as well. So without out of the way, let's get right on with the video. So I'm a Spider, So What volume 6 has its work cut out for it. The ending of volume 5 was absolutely insane. Not only did we get to see White evolve into an arachne, a half human, half spider monster, but we also got to learn a lot of new information about the world. Or rather, the illusion of what we thought the world was has been totally shattered. Technology exists in this world, incredibly advanced technology by the looks of it, and it's a technology that seems to be, at least at the moment, completely controlled by Potamus and his elven brethren. This is huge for a few reasons. Firstly, it's the assumption of the reader, or at least myself personally for the previous 5 volumes, that the world that White and the other reincarnations now find themselves in was plucked directly from a fantasy novel. Volume 5 arrives and turns everything we thought we knew about the story and the world on its head. It's now a story that brings together sci-fi and fantasy, and personally for me, in the isekai genre, I find this incredibly refreshing. Now that our expectations of the story have been completely blown away, and all of the questions that we had previously have now been compounded with even more mystery, Volume 6 arrives to answer all of our questions. Or not. Volume 6 marks quite a big change for the status quo of this series, not only in terms of the story being told, but also how the story is told. This volume very much feels like a road trip story, complete with a motley cast of characters. We have White, the Demon Lord, Sophia, the vampire reincarnation, and Mira, her ever-loyal, formerly human, now vampire companion. Also tagging along are the puppet spiders, some of the Demon Lord's minions. Our group of misfits are making their way towards the demon territory, a journey that could very well take years. Sophia and Mira are on this journey with the group until they can come up with some other options. They've been made homeless and they just want to tag along until something else comes up, at least for now. White is here because, well, she wants to put to bed the feud with the Demon Lord. White realises that it's better travelling as an ally than running away as an enemy from the Demon Lord because she realises she's totally outmatched. And funnily enough, the Demon Lord has a similar idea. The Demon Lord wants to learn the secret of White's immortality before she kills her, so she feels like it's better to have this person on her side as an ally rather than an enemy. So we've kind of got this little bit of a stalemate going on. If that sounds like there's a lot going on, well, that's because there is. There's already so much to take in, and that's before we even get to Shun and the other reincarnation story set in the future. Even more so because their story was left on such a cliffhanger at the end of the last volume. But I've got some bad news in that regard because there are actually no chapters set from Shun's perspective or set in the future at all in this volume. Everything takes place entirely in this one time period. It may be a little disappointing at first that we don't get any progression of the main story, if you will, of this series, but for me personally it felt like it came at just the right time. Previous volumes have always alluded to past events or to characters that we've only glimpsed at certain points in the story. This feels like a much needed break to fill in the gaps in our knowledge of both these characters and of the world's history. It feels like we're getting to see how these characters got from where they were in the past to where they are at the point that we see them in the future. It was always obvious that a lot has happened and changed for all of these characters, so it would be fun to explore this past. Now, aside from the story with White and the Demon Lord in this volume, we are also given some chapters from another character's perspective, that being Ronant, the court wizard. We've already met him before during his very humbling first meeting with the Nightmare of the Labyrinth, and following that encounter he has decided to venture into the Great Elro Labyrinth to become the Nightmare's apprentice, to learn everything he can about the incredible magic that he witnessed that day. I'm not going to spoil what happens in these chapters, but I have to say that they're incredibly funny, and I found that they were some of the more humorous chapters in this volume, and that's saying a lot because this volume was filled with a lot of laughs. It's a very funny volume. We're also introduced to a few other characters who are pulling various strings behind the scenes, and they're definitely going to have a bigger part to play as the main story moves on in this series. I really enjoyed the slower pace of this volume. I felt like we're given a lot of character development. It was really fun to see White and Sophia interacting in this volume, these former classmates and now travelling companions in this strange new world. Overall, I felt like this volume excels at fleshing out the characters as we get to see them interacting in situations a little bit more mundane. There isn't an awful lot of action in this volume, but I found that I didn't miss it. I was having too much fun reading about White playing dress up with the puppet spiders, or the Demon Lord bringing back multiple barrels of alcohol and consuming them, and all the chaos that ensued. So in summary, I really enjoyed Volume 6 of So I'm a Spider, So What? There's an awful lot going on in this volume, despite a lot of the larger plot points taking a bit of a back seat. But I think that we get to see a different side to some already established characters, and this is something that the story in the series is going to be all the better for. There's a lot of excellent character moments and lots of humour in this volume. But at the same time, this volume also manages to expand our understanding of the world. It starts to fill in the gaps in our knowledge. This both helps to flesh out the world, but it also contextualises some of the events that we've already read about, which take place in the future. All of these things come together to make this one of the most enjoyable volumes of So I'm a Spider, So What that I've read so far. So that's it for today's review. So I'm a Spider, So What Volume 6 is a worthy addition to the series. It gives us a greater insight into some of the characters that we've already met in previous volumes, and it also helps give us a greater understanding of this world that we were introduced to all the way back in Volume 1. You should definitely check it out. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps out. Let me know in the comments below how far along the series you are and what your favourite moments of Volume 6 in particular were. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Northern Soul Reaper, and until next time, goodbye.